Greetings, everybody. It is I, Ariane, once again. Just coming through, giving you updates, keeping you informed what I'm going through, what I'm experiencing, on this whole ascension process. So I really just wanted to do a recap over it and, my take on it, since it's ever changing and it's very personal. So I'm really grateful to be here and give a different overview of how I see the ascension process and through my experience already. So like I've always said, it is it's very personal. It's each person's process is different, and there's a purpose for that. The reason it's so personal because each person has designed different things in their reality to allow them to move through and identify with, creation. And so same thing, by moving through these lessons, you do then get a full connection, appreciation for life in itself. To understand the totality of everything, to understand all of existence and how it all works together, nothing separate. And that's what I'm really seeing as part of this ascension process. I'm letting go of all these ideas of what dimension am I trying to even get to, what am I, light body am I trying to get to. I'm just surrendering to myself, surrendering to God, saying, allow me to vibrate at the highest vibration possible, allow me to be balanced, complete, whole within my being, and that is what I keep going through with this ascension process. And I let go of all these connections because they're kind of like markers that say, well, I'm this or that, as opposed to I'm infinite and full of potential at any given time. And so that's what I'm really just seeing on this ascension process. There's no set particular way. Depending how I move through each experience determines where I move to next, what potential is laid before me, and what I can go through and experience. So it's just amazing. This ascension process is a process, and like I've said before, it is a choice. When each person makes that choice at whatever level, then the processes come to you, whatever necessary steps for you to move into realization, self-realization. Knowing yourself is knowing all of creation, and knowing that we're all intimately connected by a thread, a fiber, pulls all of creation together. We have forgotten this, and we have created many new structures within our own mental constructs to allow us to think that we're disconnected and that we're in this world all alone. But yet, we're connected not only to this whole entire planet and every living sentient being here, including the earth itself, all the loving elementals, but also all through the universe and all of creation. We are all connected. And that's what this ascension process is. You're letting go of all the programs that you've allowed for your known reality. And then you're saying, I wish to connect with everything, and I wish to vibrate with my own self, my higher self, all of creation. And that's what you do. And you're reestablishing this vertical connection. It's your spin. You're like, brrr, getting back in this, and your toroidal field is back and fully functionable, and your Socratic system is operational. This is you moving through the spiral now. That's ascension. Where does it go? What particular frequency? Well, it keeps on expanding. It keeps on expanding. But we have to get off the circle and onto the spiral. And that's what ascension is, progression. It's a progression along a pathway into higher evolution. Moving from where we feel disconnected or, any type of lack. And that's what this ascension is. You're moving back into your true self, your I am presence, your God self, all of creation. And that's, and why it's such a personal process is each person needs to go through whatever they need to go through to have the experience of themselves in each different way. As you go through healing the mind, you see it heal the body and all these different things, and you're seeing, one can't go without the other. You can't walk up and say, well, I have a deep bruise over here, that's been there for years and years. I don't know what it is. Well, maybe it takes place in the way we react to certain energy or belief system, So we let go of that, and then we find ourselves open up, and then we free a spot down here. And then, you reflect and say, well, if all of creation is affected or connected, then I affect all creation with my energy. So by healing myself, I heal all creation, and that's the planet. That's what we're doing right now. How can you change the world? By changing yourself, knowing that you are part of the world and the world is a part of you. So anywhere where you are disconnected or in discord within your state of being, your own body, you bring that back into alignment, and then you bring back the greater whole into alignment. This is the beauty. This is where we don't have to take on this burden that we have to change the world and go out there, and do whatever, bam, 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 bam. It's not like that. We first change ourselves, and then we create the wholeness in that state of balance within the whole. And then we are able to create whatever we wish at that point, and that's where we're moving, realization that we are all connected, and changing ourselves changes everyone. And that's why this experience is so personal. What will you go through to step into that realization? What will you do to repattern your DNA back to the divine blueprint? What will you go through to experience yourself as God, as all of creation, as a cell in the universe, as a cell in God? How will you go through that? And that's why I see why it is a process, and we don't just get to move to the higher dimension, or the higher dimensions like the fifth dimension and above, because you have to be in balance internally, which is externally, and by doing that is you're reconnecting yourself to all that is, all that you are. You're the entirety of your being. You are a magnificent creature of light. You have multiple energy centers and multiple energy bodies that are all interconnected and interwoven. And as you reconnect and reestablish your function with them, that is how you connect to the greater energies, and that is the ascension process. And that's where there's many plateaus of it, and there's many destinations. And that's why, we don't want to deliver it as, it's this way. It's unique. It's special. It is personal. How you go through it and how you relate to it is your journey, is your mission. And this is the greatest thing I've learned. I am so glad I went through all these trials and tribulations, because it has given me this profound appreciation of why we go through it and what it means to be connected with all reality, to be that intelligence that God is, which is everything in action. And that's, none of us are denied that experience, none of us. And it's there for a purpose. And at our higher level, at the higher self, we set these experiences up to go through, knowing that this was vital for our own soul's growth and for whatever level of manifestation we choose to progress into after this, and that's why it's there, the process. It is a process. How each person moves through, it's so amazing and so unique. And that's why, what it's saying is get out there and explore it. Explore yourself. How will you know yourself more? Well, communicate with it, Do you not realize that there are trillions of cells living within you? And they're just like you. If you take yourself, shrink it down to that little bitty cell, put it down, or that size, put it down there in your cell, that's trillions of you in there, all acting together. When you start reconnecting with them and acknowledging them and working with them, co-creating, you'll see, sense, and feel a whole amazing experience. And you say, oh, wow, not only themselves are alive, they form each structure. They form a bone. They form a organ. They form a fluid passageway, blood. And it's all alive, all different streams of consciousness, all living within you. As you call to them, they will respond. Tell them they're beautiful. Tell them they're perfect. Remind them. And that will remind you, because what takes place within takes place without. So your cell is just like you to the world right now. Speaking to yourselves, to these cells, telling them how beautiful they are, interacting with them. Say, I wish to establish a better relationship. I see you as another living intelligent, just as I see myself, no greater than, no less than, full of opportunity and potential. Let us share this amazing vessel and combine all of our streams of consciousness for the greatest opportunity, for the greatest, highest potential in this existence. And that's, one of the ways. Step into, connecting with your body. Your body is there. It is alive. It is breathing. It is interactive on so many levels. Have you ever tried it? Explore that. Get to know yourself. And this, as you do that, you form a relationship, a bond. You're connecting with yourself. And you're seeing that I am more than just what I think of this egoic character. I am all these living beings within me, all for one unified purpose. This being right here in its experience, which is not who you think you are. You're all of everything, forming a unique expression through this vessel, this body, and that's where you work together with everything. And that's where God is, works together with everything. Nothing works independently. We all carry certain functions, but through these individual functions, we are supported and connected through all of creation. And that's why it's always co-creation. There is no single creation. Where you see that, there is the lack of full connection, where we have tried to go out in these realities and create through disconnection. And we're seeing that in our reality. It doesn't work so well. It causes many challenges that doesn't make us feel so good. And that's where we're at. We're like, wait a minute. How can we better ourselves? So we're getting assistance from all these. You step into yourself. You reconnect to all that is. You connect to all of your body. And these same things are connected to the whole entire planet. Because the planet is a body too. And we're the cells within that planet. On it, within it. We are part of it. No separate from it. And that's why this, concept, why we call, Mother Earth, Father Source. We look at it because we're reflections of them. We're a fractal of that bigger embodiment, And we see, well, how does the planet work? How does this planet stay in function? Well, we take the planet itself, a living intelligence. We take all the life forms, plants, animals, people, and then the elements, wind, water, air, fire, all these things are all alive and they're all moving together. And that's why we have such an amazing miracle of life that takes place. You see, the deer are doing their thing, not worried about anything, but they know they're part of creation and that they are connected to everything. And that's where you see this whole thing of the earth, possible. You're like, now we move into our place as part of this whole symbiotic thing, where we think we're disconnected, and we've allowed, for all these energy firings, electrical firings, not to be there, not to be established, so we're not actually communicating, not with ourselves, not with creation. And that's what Ascension is. That's where I'm seeing it as, regardless of all the New Age mechanics, words, or anything like that. The Ascension process is stepping into all of creation and realizing that we are all working together for the greater good, the greater glory of all creation, so that we each have the opportunity and potential to experience, explore, and expand whatever we wish through our own unified focus of expression. Whether it be human, extraterrestrial, animal, plant, star, a universe, a whole omniverse, whatever it be, it only works and its only strength is found through unity. That is it. Without that, there is no way to progress. There is no way to expand. And that's what I'm learning. This is, and it's phenomenal. It's just blowing me away because as I do this, I'm making this connection. When I feel myself, I feel all of Earth, and I'm like, and I notice it's reflected everywhere around me. I'm drawing in that experience, and I'm seeing that, and we're vibing off of that, more and more. I'm like, reconnected, reconnected, reconnected. And now I see this field that is growing, and I see that's how we can bring this ascension to the whole planet. Each person stepping into it, which is self-realization, self-discovery, self-actualization. But then you're healing the whole. You're healing yourself and you're healing the whole. Each little bit, piece by piece. And now when we do that, we create a greater field of opportunity and potential for all to experience. This is how you change yourself, changes the world. And it's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. You know, there's things that we can do on a much larger scale than just, you know, realizing that we're everything and that healing ourselves. And we're getting to that point, you know. But until we are complete within ourselves, balanced within all creation, you know, we cannot move to the higher levels of creation, you know, and that's where we are at. That's what the ascension process is. That's why you make a choice that you are taking part of it, and then you go through the process. Whatever your unique process is that you're moving through to come into that realization, you know, of discovery, that's what you need. That's what's necessary. And that's why we all must follow this process. You know, it is amazing. It is profound. It is beyond words what is experienced in it, you know, and it's just amazing the connections, what you feel when you're out there in the world with other people, you know, and then this vibration that you hold is amazing. The more I move forward in the ascension process, which means I'm more connected to all of creation, I feel other people everywhere I go. They're like, oh, wow, what is going on? I'm like, I'm just connecting with all of creation again, you know. So what you're feeling is all of creation loving and supporting me through this unique form, you know, just as I support all of creation through my realization that I am a part of all creation, that we are all together. So that's what you're experiencing it right now. You're feeling that. All creation moving through, and when we allow it to step through, that's the co-creation. That's this just symphony, this dance. That's God consciousness. That's what it means. It's not, you know, some particular being up here, you know, above us. It is all of us acting together for us, for the benefit of us, you know, to experience us. That's it. A whole active intelligence, aware and conscious of itself at all levels. And that's what it is. You step into that self, you become your own God self again. You know, that's what the ascension process is. That's what you realize, I am everything and everything is me, and our only strength is through our unity, you know, and our co-creation. And this is it. This is how I'm seeing it. This is how I'm experiencing it. This is the realization I'm coming to, you know, and it's just absolutely profound. And, you know, the balance I'm seeing within my own mind and my body. My body is amazing. I was experiencing, you know, discord in there. And, you know, part of this thing I knew in my process that I would bring them into balance, that I would bring that discord into full accord. And I have achieved that. I am feeling that sensation, that experience, that, I'm truly able to heal myself. And it came through my reconnection to all that is. And when that happened, I allowed my energy centers to operate as they were meant to be. And once they do that, you become healed, balanced, and whole. Because you cannot disconnect yourself from any parts of your body. You cannot do that. And that happens with the mind, you know, that allows for the disconnect in the body. So if you believe it in the mind, it'll be in the body as well. And then when your energy centers aren't running, you're not function 100% or, you know, in balance, in accord. And that is why we experience disease, lack, suffering, pain, bondage, whatever, any of this thing. Is because we're not co-creating with our own particular vehicle, or vessel that we're provided to experience with. So as you move into that realization and let go of them old programs, you're connected with yourself, back to yourself. Full balance, full vitality, full health. That's what, you know, the ascension is, you know, moving into that. So when you say, well, wow, now we see that, well, I am but a micro to the macro. Okay. Wow. So just like as I went through here, you know, I reprogrammed the mind to allow me to say I am connected, and then I strengthened that connection and I allowed it to fully vitalize itself, and then I moved through that awareness each day. So I say, okay, now I've added that back to the whole, which is the planet and all other creation. And I'm just looking at the planet right now, where my focus is, I'm like, healing myself, I healed that part of the planet. Now I'd done a great service for the entire planet. I gave it a whole opportunity for all expressions of life connected to this to now feel that healing, that sense of wholeness. It's like sticking another piece of the puzzle back in there, and not saying that this puzzle has any, finite structure. It's just, it's that piece that we're all back together, that electrical biocoupling that says, wow, yes, now we're back connected. So seeing that, doing that on a larger scale, reflect on that, Think if 1,000 of us healed ourselves completely through this ascension process, 1,000 people healing the planet. Now 1,000 people holding a field of energy of pure balance, of pure health and vitality, expressing the truest nature of God, which is full connection and no lack, only pure potential. Pure potential. And that's where we're at. So take 1,000 people that heal themselves and they heal that part of the planet and that part of the collective field. Now we hold a field that are holding that vision that we are perfect and whole and complete. So that also is being fed into the earth and into the collective. And that's coming right back down to each person, each life form. More completion, more reconnection. Yes, yes. And you'll see this will change the whole fabric of creation, the whole reality, the way the environments are, the way the weather patterns are. It's all affected. Now let's do 10,000 people that have healed themselves just through self-realization, through co-creation of the self. Think of that, what that'll do to the field, the whole entire planet. Not only will you come into this amazing, profound realization, the state of existence, which is full health and vitality, and then you'll see that on the planet at a greater level. Everybody will have that opportunity. And each time each person moves into this awareness, this state of being, so will that provide a new opportunity for the entire collective, for the entire planet, allowing each person to step more into this process and say, I know, I remember that. That's what we're doing. That's what we're working towards, as a whole, as a collective, and that is, it's just amazing. It's absolutely amazing. I'm grateful that the day I started making the videos and really documenting my ascension process, that it's changed so much in such short time. And that was what they kept wanting to express to me, all my guides and teachers, is, you cannot put anything on what this ascension process is. It's different from anywhere it's been experienced, and it's being created at each moment. But the one thing that they're showing me now, and that I am experiencing that I couldn't have unless I went through my own unique experience, it's to know thyself, to step back into your own self and your greater connection to all of creation. That's what this ascension process is in its simplified terms, realizing that we're all together reconnected. Or that we're all together connected, so you have to see yourself reconnected, and it's just absolute profound thing. And as I've come to this, God has come to me, I'm having conversations with God, and the biggest message that came, as this comes through is, dearest children, you were never meant to do this alone. And I just, I'm like, that right there made me just lose it, in a good way, that I thought it was. I thought I was supposed to do this by myself. And even if I was by myself, I was never by myself. And that was, the realization too, that I have thousands and countless forms of expressions of intelligent life forms living within me. And I call upon them, for this. It wasn't just me, this Ariane, Bob character. It was all of us, And that's what I realized when I heard that message. You weren't meant to do it alone. No, you're not. We're all connected. Everything. So not only, do I see that, I see it now with all the world, all animals, all plants. We're all intimately connected, and we cannot overlook that fact. We cannot deny that. We're all here to share creation. And when we separate ourselves from that, we separate ourselves from our own potential and our own true self, our own completeness and our own wholeness. And that's just amazing. And that's why, that God is having conversations, because I realize myself as God and as part of all creation, and that I'm, living beyond myself. And so it's like it's a stream of intelligence that comes through, and I speak to it, and it's in myself. It's all around. I feel it. Everything. It's amazing. And if that's one thing I could really convey about this whole ascension process, I hope that's it. That doesn't matter all this other stuff. It's you knowing you as everything, not just the way you see you or you have identified you to be. You are a composite of countless expressions living within your embodiment. You are all your multidimensional streams living through this one embodiment. You are all of creation moving through this one single form of embodiment. It's amazing, absolutely amazing. So that's the ascension process update. What I've come to realize it to be, through my personal unique experience. And I'm grateful to go through it. I'm grateful to have this connection, and I'm grateful to share this video. And I hope that it inspires, encourages, and offers, the needed perspective for each person to, release more hurdles or misconceptions or preconceived ideas or notions, and just jump into it and follow the heart, and know thyself. Know thyself, all levels, not just here, everywhere. As it is above, so it is below. As it within, so is it all around. It's glorious, so glorious. Thank you for allowing me this opportunity to share my experience and my joy and love for this life we live and this experience of the ascension process. I look forward to connecting more and sharing more updates and more vibrations of love and joy. So thank you for tuning in. I love you all dearly. Blessings to you all from the Most High. Adonai Melech Shemaim.